Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel96, and I'll be reviewing the third episode of The Mandalorian. And it'll just be like the last two episodes that I've been reviewing. It'll be like, I'll go spoiler and non-spoiler. It won't be in depth. And if you don't want to hear any spoilers, you've been warned, and you can click off this video if you haven't seen the third episode yet. And I have a playlist that I'll link down below with the other episodes, and with that out of the way, let's begin. Well, pretty much, the third episode starts off with our main character, the Mandalorian, going to drop off the Baby Yoda-like character to the guy that assigned him to go get it from the first episode. So we have that in there, the older guy that's with all the stormtroopers, then, gives him the credits. Then the Mandalorian goes, to get new armor, to the armor person he met in the first episode. Then we get to see other Mandalorians. Then pretty much, with the credits he gets, he makes the new armor. Then we have the flashbacks of him when he was younger and stuff. So we have that, just like the first episode. So we have that. And then he gets his new armor. Then he walks into the bar. Then meets up with Carl Weathers' character, which is named Grief. Then they have a talk. And then the Mandalorian wants a new job. Then Carl Weathers' character, tells him to give a day off. And then pretty much, and then Carl Weathers' character tells him how rich he got. And then pretty much the other people don't like the Mandalorian because how much of a legend he is. So we have that. And then pretty much, gives him a hologram for a bounty of some, Akbar-like creature, a Mon Calamari, kind of creature. So we have that and then, pretty much, the Mandalorian gets ready to leave. Then he's kind of worried about the Baby Yoda-like character, so he kind of goes back for him, kind of check on him, because, so previously leading up to that, Carl Weathers' character, says how the Empire is gone because, the Mandalorian says how the guy is, run by the Empire, and then pretty much, and then Carl Weathers' character Grief, recommends, like if he wants to go to the core to report it to the New Republic, so, you get a mention of the New Republic in here, and then Carl Weathers says what's left of the Empire, is like warlords and mercenaries, because this is set after Return of the Jedi and before The Force Awakens, so we have that. And then also, he pretty much, then the Mandalorian get ready to leave, as I said previously, how he's looking for the Baby Yoda-like character. Then he goes to the doctor. Then pretty much the doctor, is doing stuff on the Baby Yoda-like character, where the Mandalorian says, "What have you done?" And then the doctor says the Baby Yoda-like character is alive. Then the Mandalorian takes the Baby Yoda character. Then he pretty much, then the Mandalorian confronts with stormtroopers, and then all that. So we have a fight with a showdown with some stormtroopers, which was pretty cool. And so we have that. Then we have that part, and then pretty much, then Carl Weathers and all the other people in the bar, are all, which is Carl Weathers' character named Grief. So we have all the other people. They have all the tracking device, wondering what's going on. Then pretty much in the town, the Mandalorian's getting ready to leave. Then, like everyone is all looking at the Mandalorian. Then Carl Weathers' character Grief is pretty much saying how he was mad that he decided to take the Baby Yoda-like character with him. And then he wants to leave. Then pretty much there's a big showdown. The Mandalorian, shoots people, and then in the streets, then he goes on a speeder and then shoots people. Then we come to see the other Mandalorians come to save the day, and then they all come off on jetpacks, and then come to have a fight. And then one of the Mandalorian characters says, tells him to go, and then how the other Mandalorians will hold him off. And then the Mandalorian gets in his ship. Then he sees Carl Weathers' character on his ship, and then they have then they kind of have a confrontation, and then pretty much tells him, and then Mandalorian kind of gets the like some steam, like some smoke on his ship, and then kind of shoots the Grief, and then which I thought he was gonna actually freeze him in carbonite when that was gonna happen, but he accidentally shoots him. Then he's off the ship, and then the Mandalorian takes off, and then we see Grief on the ground, and pretty much the Mandalorian shot him where his credits were, and then the Mandalorian is in the air, and then we see one of the other Mandalorian characters on a jetpack, and then he waves at the Mandalorian, and then the Mandalorian says, "I gotta get one of those." Who knows? Maybe we'll see the Mandalorian get a jetpack in a future episode, or maybe in season 2. Who knows? I mean, anything's possible, but he does say, wish he had one, so maybe we will. And then that's pretty much what the episode is like. That's pretty much the rundown of the episode, and my thoughts on it. I actually liked this episode, and I did like it. I did like, the good thing at the end where all the Mandalorians come to save the day, and then I did like this one part where he actually, there's a bit where the Mandalorian, he's told to drop his weapon, and then he, gets activated, and the Mandalorian activates a thing, then he, almost, kills all the stormtroopers, he stuns them, which I thought was pretty cool, and then that's that, and then I'd have to say I'm enjoying this episode each time I see it. Each time I see a new episode, I think I'm enjoying this show more and more, and I hope it stays like that, and then can't wait to see what the future holds of this TV show. And with all that, and that's pretty much all I gotta say in this video. And if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, I'd say you're missing out, because I'd say you definitely gotta watch The Mandalorian. So far, this is some really good Star Wars content. You don't want to miss out on this. And with all that, that's pretty much what I have to say in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment what you think down below, and I'll catch you guys next time with another video. Bye.